Welcome back to the K&K Stadium for the second half of Crystal Palace against Cardiff City. Before we get underway, delighted to say there's been a substitution in the commentary box, and replacing Alex White for a few minutes at least is John Salako. John, thanks very much for joining us. Just tell us a bit about, for those that don't know about it, your role within the club and what you're doing down here today at this particular match.
Well, I've come in as first team coach, and thank you very much for having me up here on the gantry. I work very closely. I try and get in with Gary as often as possible to work with the development squad, really to try and give them a different voice, to try and hopefully teach them a few things, but really to try and help me and give me a chance to coach and get out there on the training field, because Keith Millen and Alan Pardew do so much of the coaching. I had very limited opportunities really to get out there and get my hands dirty, as they say. So we're off and running here, but it's just interesting. Always come and look at the players, then I can look at what we need to work on and how their development's going. And certainly today we've got a lot of youngsters playing, which is the way I want it to be, really, because I think the under-21 system is very much a work in progress, in a sense where I think once players get to a certain level, and we're sort of addressing that, we've got 5 or 6 out on loan, although we've had a couple of injuries to Hiram and Keshi, but obviously people like Kai and Luke Gray needed to get out on loan and go and get some proper competitive football.
And it seems the Palace way, doesn't it? Lots of tricky, pacey wingers, as you mentioned. You've got Lakilo and out wide as well with Bissaka, 2 players that can beat men and get balls in.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Aaron's changed his boots. In the first half, he looked like Bambi on ice out there. He was slipping all over the place, but he's a dangerous player. I like watching him. He's exciting. Here comes this Kapeem again. He looks lively, doesn't he?
Kadeem Harris, he's spent some time on loan at Barnsley, we were hearing earlier. And one thing I was going to mention is plenty of the sort of more regulars in the under-21 squad have gone out to get some league football on loan, and a lot of the players today have stepped up a level perhaps from the 18s. And I believe that's something that's part of Alan Pardew's philosophy, is to get players out of their comfort zone and moving up a notch or two.
Yeah, exactly. We want the 15s and 16s playing up, and then the 17s and 18s playing up in this standard. So, I mean, again, you saw Jacob Berkeley going through there, and he's in that hole, gets it, picks it up in the pocket, drives, and it's just that quality and that care of pass to play in Corey Andrews and make the run through. But all these lads have got the ability, and I'm always saying to them that they really need to focus on their training and really have an urgency and a brightness to their work and what they're trying to do. And when they come out here, they've got to bring it, because they've been watched, and when they get released, the frustration and the anger in some of the players, they don't realise what an opportunity they've got and how quickly it can pass you by. So, and as you were saying, I think for them to play at this level, I don't think they appreciate. I'd rather see the youngsters play at this level than sort of once you're 19, 20 and you're good enough, you should be playing competitive football, and you grow up playing. When you're 16, 17, playing at this level. Okay, you may lose, but you learn so much from the players you're playing against.